Amid the escalation, US President Joe Biden said on Friday he is asking Israel to not hit UN peacekeepers in its conflict with Hezbollah. Biden's remarks came after Israeli forces early Friday shelled an observation post belonging to UN interim force in Lebanon at its headquarters in southern Lebanon, wounding 2 peacekeepers from the Sri Lankan contingent. US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said he spoke with his Israeli counterpart Yoav Gallant to discuss Israel's operations in Lebanon. In a post on X following his call with Israeli Defense Minister, Austin said that he had urged his counterpart in Israel to ensure the safety of UNIFIL forces in Lebanon and coordinating efforts to pivot from military operations to a diplomatic pathway as soon as feasible. The phone call came after the United Nations interim force in Lebanon said on Thursday that its headquarters in the southern Lebanese city of Naqoura and 2 nearby sites had been struck by Israeli forces. Israeli forces have fired a second time at the main base of the UN's peacekeeping mission in Lebanon, injuring 2 peacekeepers, one of whom is said to be in serious condition. The attack came after Israel Defense Forces struck a watchtower at the headquarters on Thursday, injuring 2 other peacekeepers. The European Union's foreign policy chief, Joseph Borrell, has demanded accountability from Israel and said that there is no justification for the attack on the United Nations interim force in Lebanon, or UNIFIL. European Council President Charles Michel also condemned the attacks by Israeli forces and called on all sides to respect international humanitarian law. As Israel faced a chorus of condemnation from United Nations and Western allies, the IDF acknowledged firing at immediate threat near UN position in Lebanon and pledged to carry out a thorough review. It further said the IDF is in contact with UNIFIL for coordination purposes and will continue to do so. The IDF's statement came after the UN mission said 2 of its peacekeepers were injured after explosions close to an observation tower at its Naqoura headquarters. It was the second incident of its kind reported by UNIFIL in 2 days after 2 other blue helmets were injured on Thursday, sparking global condemnation. The leaders of France, Italy and Spain have condemned unjustifiable Israeli attacks that have hit the UN peacekeeping force in Lebanon amid heightened conflict in the region. France, Italy and Spain, the largest European contributors to UNIFIL in terms of personnel, in a joint statement expressed outrage after several peacekeepers were hit at UNIFIL's main base in Naqoura. The statement said these attacks constitute serious violation of the obligations of Israel under United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701 and under humanitarian international law. The nations recall that all peacekeepers must be protected and reiterate their praise for the continued and indispensable commitment of UNIFIL troops personnel in this very challenging context. The 3 European nations also called for an immediate ceasefire in the region. The Italian government formally protested against Israeli authorities, reiterating that what is happening near the base of the Italian UNIFIL contingent in southern Lebanon is not acceptable.
It is unacceptable. It violates what was established by Resolution 1701 of the United Nations. The Italian government, as you know, has strongly protested with the Israeli authorities. On this issue, with France and Spain, we have also decided to make a common declaration.
French President Emmanuel Macron on Friday condemned the deliberate targeting of UN peacekeepers by Israel, addressing a summit of European and Mediterranean leaders in Cyprus. Macron said that it was absolutely unacceptable that Israeli forces were deliberately targeting the UN peacekeepers in Lebanon, stating that France will not tolerate such actions.
Finally discussing Lebanon alongside the Italian and Spanish prime ministers who, like France, are historical contributors to UNIFIL. I want to say here that the 700 French soldiers involved in this force are a sign of our unwavering support and of our desire to be committed to the security of both Israel and Lebanon. We condemn it. We will not tolerate it, and we will not tolerate it happening again.